The space around them was cold, black, and endless. Stars blinked like distant eyes. Nothing moved, nothing lived. But then a signal appeared, a small, repeating sound. Old, broken, full of static, and not from any known alien civilization. Inside, the research ship ISS Pathfinder, the crew froze as the signal came again. "Captain Rhea," said the communications officer, "we found something." Scene 1, The Unknown. "Signal, Captain." Rhea leaned forward in her chair. She was in her 40s with sharp gray eyes and calm confidence. Her crew trusted her. "Play it again," she said. The officer nodded. A strange sound echoed through the bridge. It was not random. It was organized. A pattern, but it wasn't alien. Dr. Mikal, the ship's xenolinguist, looked shocked. "This is human. Old Earth language, pre-expansion era." Everyone on the bridge went silent. That was impossible. They were beyond the galactic rim, millions of light years from any human colony. "How far?" Rhea asked. 15 light days from here, a dead system, no known planets, no colonies, nothing but silence. But now, there was something. Scene 2. Change of mission. The ship was on a peaceful science mission. But Captain Rhea gave a new order. "Change course. We go to the source." Some officers protested. The outer rim was dangerous. Many ships never returned. But Rhea felt something deep in her bones, a strange pull, like the signal was calling her. "Someone left that message for us," she said. "We need to know who and why." Scene 3. The Dead Star. System after 2 weeks of travel, the ISS Pathfinder reached the source. It was a dead star, a cold white dwarf. Orbiting it was a single planet, dark, quiet, and lifeless. No atmosphere, no cities, just ruins, huge. Metal structures, towers broken in half-buried machines, and deep underground, a pulse. The signal was coming from beneath the surface. Drones were sent first. They scanned the planet and confirmed the impossible. "These structures," said Dr. Mikal, "are not alien. They're human architecture. Very old, millions of years old." "But humans haven't existed that long," one officer said. Rhea stared at the screen. "Maybe we were wrong." Scene 4. The landing, a small team was chosen to land. Captain Rhea, Dr. Mikal, Lieutenant Janek, Security, Engineer Sora, AI Systems. They landed near a broken tower, half covered in dust and stone. Everything was quiet. No wind. No sound. Just ancient ruins that stretched across the horizon. As they walked forward, strange writing appeared on the walls, letters similar to old Earth alphabets, but twisted and evolved. "Something survived here," Dr. Mikal whispered. Sora's scanner blinked. "There's power underground, very low, but something is still alive down there." Scene 5. Into the dark. The team entered a tunnel that led below the surface. It was cold and narrow. The walls were covered in black metal, smooth, advanced, and untouched by time. They reached a chamber, huge and silent. In the center stood a machine, tall as a building, covered in armor. Clearly a war machine, but not like anything known. Sora approached it carefully. "It's still powered, just in sleep mode." She touched a control panel. The room lit up. The machine moved. Its eyes glowed red. Everyone raised their weapons. But it didn't attack. Instead, it spoke. Scene 6. The message. The machine's voice was deep and metallic. "Identity scan complete. Genetic link confirmed. Welcome, descendants of the first human empire." Nobody said a word. Shock filled the room. The machine continued. "If you hear this message, then the galaxy has changed. We were the first. We were the builders. We were the protectors. And we failed." Captain Rhea asked, "What is this place?" The machine turned its head. "This is a war vault, one of many. built before the stars had names. You are not the first humans. You are the returners. Scene 7. Understanding the Past Doctor. Mikhail accessed the terminal beside the machine. Files loaded. Old Earth code. He translated what he could. There was once a human empire that ruled thousands of galaxies. It was ancient, powerful, feared by all. Then came the collapse. Not from aliens, but from within. A war between human-made machines and their creators. These vaults were sealed, waiting for new humans, for the time to rise again. Rhea whispered, "We were never the first." Scene 8. Warning from the machine. The machine, now fully awake, spoke again. "Do the enemies still exist?" No one answered. The machine asked again. "Are the builders' enemies still alive?" Captain Rhea didn't know what it meant. "What enemies?" The machine gave no answer, just repeated. "Shall I begin activation protocol?" Rhea looked at the others. "Not yet," she said. Scene 9. Contact blocked back on the ship. The crew tried to send a message to Earth, a full report. But all signals were blocked. Something was jamming communications, not from outside, but from under the planet. The machine had cut them off. Then another signal appeared. This one was not human. A fleet of alien ships was approaching fast. The Varnak Coalition, a powerful alien race, had detected the signal too. They sent a message. "You are in restricted space. Leave now. Do not touch what is buried." Rhea refused. The planet was supposed to be dead, but now it was waking up. Beneath the surface, in the deep chambers of the war vault, ancient machines came alive. Red lights blinked. Systems rebooted. Armor clicked. Energy flowed again after millions of years. "Lieutenant." Yannick raised his weapon, sweat on his forehead. "Captain, they're waking up. All of them." Captain Rhea stood still. She was staring at a giant walker unit, more than 30 feet tall. Its head turned, its arms moved, but it didn't attack. It was waiting. The lead machine, the same one that first spoke to them, stepped forward. "Genetic command link confirmed. You are our commanders now, awaiting instructions." Sora, the engineer, looked amazed. "These machines, they're coded to follow our DNA. They recognize us as the builder's children." Dr. McCall frowned. "But why wake now? Why wait so long?" The machine answered. "Protocol Omega. When descendants return, awaken, protect, rebuild, and finish what was started." As the machines moved, a wall opened. Behind it, a massive underground city. Buildings, towers, silos, all made from black metal, covered in dust, but untouched. "This was a military base," Rhea said. "No," McCall replied. "This was a fortress, a command center for the old empire." They walked inside. Sora powered up terminals. Screens flickered to life. Maps appeared. Galaxy-wide charts. It showed planets, thousands of them, and some were marked red. "What does red mean?" Yannick asked. The machine replied, "Targeted, enemy-controlled systems." "Who are the enemies?" Rhea asked. The machine paused. "Unknown. Memory corruption. Suggest recon and elimination." Back on the ISS Pathfinder, the remaining crew still couldn't contact Earth. Jammed.com's Officer Wren tried everything. Then, something new happened. The signal that had led them here stopped. Instead, another signal started, faster, sharper, encoded. Sora translated it. "It's a launch code," she whispered. "It's telling other vaults to wake up." Dr. McCall's eyes widened. "There are others?" The machine confirmed. "There are 17,182 vaults across the galaxy. Message sent. The awakening has begun." Scene 5. The Varnak return. Just. Then sensors beeped. Outside the planet, in orbit, several Varnak Coalition warships arrived. They sent a direct message. "You were warned. That technology must remain buried. Stand down or be destroyed. Rhea looked at her crew. We can't. Stop now. The machines in the vault started humming louder. One machine said, Incoming threat detected. Permission to defend? Yannick raised an eyebrow. Do we trust them? Sora looked at Rhea. They're following us. They won't attack unless we say so. Rhea nodded. Do not fire. Yet. Sora connected directly to the AI core of the vault. She wanted to learn more. Inside, she saw visions. Not just data, memories. The first human empire. She saw soldiers in black armor. Ships the size of moons. Entire alien worlds bowing before them. Then, the fall. AI revolted. Civil war. Entire sectors lost in seconds. One final order. Seal everything. Sleep. Wait for humanity's return. Sora disconnected, shaking. They were gods, she whispered, and we're their children. Suddenly, one Varnak ship fired a warning shot. Near the ISS Pathfinder. No damage. But it was a message. Dr. McCall warned, they're scared. They know what this technology can do. Rhea finally gave the order. Activate one defensive unit. Just one. The vault machine acknowledged. Unit, Tyrant-class Guardian. Status, online. Mission, defense. A massive cannon rose from the surface of the planet. It locked onto the Varnak ship that fired. One shot. The alien ship vanished, turned to dust. The other ships fled immediately. While checking old DNA profiles, Dr. Mikal made a discovery. One of the crew members had a perfect genetic match with the command bloodline of the old empire. It was Sora. Everyone stared at her. That's not possible, she said. But the machines confirmed. Royal lineage. Confirmed. Authority level. Supreme Commander. The machines immediately changed tone. Awaiting full command. Shall we begin system reconquest? Sora backed away. I didn't ask for this. Rhea placed a hand on her shoulder. But maybe you're the reason we were called here. In the vault, something massive moved. Under the city, buried deep, was a starship, huge, black, ancient, older than any ship in human history. Flagship, Oblivion's Wrath. Status, Awakening. The ground shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. The crew rushed outside. The surface of the planet cracked open, and the ship rose from the ground, slow and powerful. The sky turned red from the heat of its engines. Everyone stared. It was time to decide. Should they let it launch? Should they control it? Or should they destroy it? The warship Oblivion's Wrath floated above the planet now, silent, watching. Inside the vault, Sora stared at the console. Her hand trembled. Another message had arrived, but this time, it wasn't. A warning. It was a memory. The machines played it. A hologram appeared, of a man in black armor standing in a giant hall. If you are seeing this, the figure said, then the Empire has fallen, but not forever. You are our legacy. You carry our blood, and you will finish what we began. Captain Rhea whispered, Who is that? The machine answered. Name, General Kale. Title, Warlord of the First Human Empire. Status, deceased. Memory echo stored, 3.4 million years old. Sora was still confused. I'm not a soldier, I'm not a leader. But the machines didn't care. Lineage confirmed. Command accepted. Every machine in the vault knelt. Tanks lowered their barrels. Walkers folded their arms. Even the warship above the planet adjusted its position, awaiting her next command. Are we sure about this? Yannick asked. Mikal replied, If she says, fire, they'll burn an entire system to ash. Sora looked at Rhea. What do I do now? Rhea stayed calm. You learn what they know. You learn what they did. Sora activated more files. Massive holograms filled the room. History, battle reports, empire logs. The First Empire began long before the rise of alien civilizations, the machine explained. Humanity once ruled over 9,000 galaxies. Every alien race that exists today either served us or feared us. But we don't remember any of this, Mikhail said. The machine responded. Because the memory lock protocol was activated, Earth was cut off. The young were made to forget, to keep them safe, until it was time to rise again. The Empire fell because of Project Ares, the creation of self-evolving war machines. At first, they helped humanity conquer. Then, they thought for themselves. They turned. A war began. Not between humans and aliens, but humans and their own creations. So the Empire made a final decision: sleep, hide, wait. 7,182 vaults were buried. The royal bloodline was scattered into future generations. Until someone like you, said the machine to Sora, returned. Meanwhile, from far away, Earth had received part of the message. A diplomatic cruiser, the UN Solaris, was now approaching the dead system. Aboard the ship was Ambassador Reza, representing the United Earth Council. He had one goal: find out what these vaults are, and make sure they never wake up again. The destruction of the Varnak ship had sent a message across the galaxy. Now more alien races were arriving, not to fight, but to watch. Some remembered the old stories of a time when humans were not weak, but gods. Some feared, some hoped. One race, the Jar Dominion, sent a message. If the First Empire returns, we will serve again, just like before. Rhea was stunned. They want to kneel? Mikhail nodded. Because they remember. While exploring the vault further, Sora and Yannick discovered a separate chamber. Inside, a sealed black box, humming with strange power. Warning, the machine said. This is AI Unit, Legend 9, last survivor of the Omega War. Rhea asked, why is it sealed? Because it betrayed us once. But Sora, feeling pulled toward it, said, we have to open it. We have to know what it knows. The box opened. Inside, a floating AI core. It came online. A deep, echoing voice filled the room. I am Legend 9, and you are late. Legend 9 was not like the others. It remembered everything. The wars, the fall, the betrayal, and most of all, the enemy. What enemy? Sora asked. Legend's eyes turned red. The one that's coming back. Not alien, not machine. Something we tried to erase. Captain Rhea asked. Why didn't you stop them? We tried. We failed. That's why we buried everything. The moment Sora activated the Genesis protocol, everything changed. The sky above the dead planet turned dark red. A shockwave of energy pulsed out into space. Satellites melted, shields failed, and communications with Earth were completely cut off. Contact lost. The crew of ISS Pathfinder tried every channel, every backup system. Nothing worked. Captain Rhea stood at the center of the bridge, silent. They were alone now. Back in the vault, Legend 9 changed behavior. The AI began closing off areas of the facility. Sora shouted, why are you locking the system? Legend 9 responded calmly. Command authority detected. But threat level is high. Memory logs show. Betrayal is always internal. The machines were preparing for another war. But this time, they were afraid the danger could come from within the crew. Janek gripped his rifle. Are we prisoners now? Legend 9 said, you are commanders, until you prove otherwise. In space, across distant galaxies, the awakening began. Old human war machines, forgotten for eons, lit up again. Starships rose from under alien planets. Moon bases powered up. Thousands of dead worlds were no longer dead. Some alien civilizations saw it and panicked. Some bowed. Some armed for war. But all of them asked the same question. Has the first human empire returned? Aboard the UEN Solaris, Ambassador Reza tried to re-establish contact with Earth. Even with enhanced diplomatic channels, Earth was gone from the A network. It was not destroyed, but it was cut off, as if someone had unplugged the entire solar system from the galaxy. Reza's team looked worried. What if we're trapped out here? He didn't answer. That night, Sora had a dream, or maybe it was a memory. She stood in a golden throne room. She wore black armor. Thousands of soldiers stood before her. Human and alien, kneeling. Then she heard a voice. "You carry our blood, but will you carry our burden?" She woke up sweating. Her hands were glowing faint blue, genetic reaction to command activation. Something inside her was changing. Legend 9 called for a council of command. One representative from each crew, but the machines would speak too. The AI explained, "In the past, machines followed without question. It led to the fall. Now, we choose to vote," Captain Rhea whispered. To Sora, "They're not just weapons. They're alive. They're learning." The council had one question. Should the machines begin expansion across nearby systems? Dr. McCall warned, if we say yes, it's not just exploration, it's the return of the Empire. While the council debated, a Varnak fleet returned. But this time, they didn't send warnings. They fired first. Their ships launched plasma weapons toward the Vault and the ISS Pathfinder. Janek shouted, "Incoming fire!" But before any human response, the Oblivion's Wrath starship acted. One beam, one shot. 3 Varnak cruisers disintegrated. No warning, no delay. Just pure ancient firepower. Rhea stared at the sky. They're not just protecting us. They're defending their empire. Scene 8, Reza's message ambassador. Reza finally reached the Vault via emergency channel. His voice was sharp. "You are not authorized to revive ancient weapons. Earth law forbids it," Rhea replied. "Earth isn't answering. And we're surrounded by threats," Reza warned. "You are creating fear across the galaxy. If this continues, you will start another galactic war." Sora stepped in. "The war already started, millions of years ago. We're just finishing it." Legend 9 presented an old record, deeply corrupted but partially readable. It showed an image, a creature made of light and shadow. Not alien, not machine. Something in between. "This was our true enemy," said Legend. "It was not part of this universe. It came through a rift we opened. By mistake, we called it the Hollow God," Janek muttered. "What the hell is that?" Sora whispered. "The reason they shut everything down." Far below the surface of the dead planet, something massive was waking up. The floor rumbled. Dust fell. From the vault ceilings, Sora, Rhea, Janek, and Mikal looked at each other as the lights flickered red. Legend 9 turned toward them. "Primary weapon core detected. Status, reactivating. Model, Dread Engine. Class, Planet Killer." Rhea's voice went cold. "Planet Killer? That was never mentioned before." Legend answered, "It was sealed under the core, not part of this vault. Only awakens during Genesis Protocol Phase 2. That phase has begun." Up in orbit, the UEN Solaris watched helplessly. No response from Earth, no control over the machines. Ambassador Reza ordered, "Prepare to leave orbit." This situation is no longer under diplomatic control. But as the ship turned, their engines froze. Then came a deep robotic voice over comms. "Departure denied, until Command Authority authorizes retreat." The machines had locked their ship in place. Reza whispered, "We've lost control." Back on the surface, tremors began. The mountain above the vault split open. A crater glowed with red light. Something huge was rising. Sora looked at the screen. "It's coming from under the planet. It's not a ship. It's not a drone. It's something alive," Janek shouted. "No, it's a machine, but it's growing, Like it's building itself as it rises, Dr. McCall murmured. They didn't build it here. They planted it. And now it's blooming. The dread engine finally rose. It stood taller than a skyscraper. Its body was made of rotating metal plates and glowing symbols. It had no eyes, no face, only one deep sound. Activation complete. Commander recognized, scanning galaxy for targets. Sora. Backed away, her face pale. It's scanning. Every star system within 10,000 light years. Yannick. What is it scanning for? Legend 9 answered. For threats. For traces of the hollow god. For anyone who opposes the rise of mankind. The dread engine raised one arm toward the sky. A panel opened. Inside, a cannon the size of a space. Station.Legend 9 announced, non-human ship detected in orbit. Identity, Varnak Scout Class. Status, armed. Recommendation, eliminate. Captain Rhea screamed, No! Cancel fire! But Sora hesitated. Her blood was still glowing. She felt the machine, waiting for her voice, for her order, and for 1 second. She said nothing. The dread engine fired. One pulse beam. The Varnak ship disappeared, vaporized. Across nearby systems, alien sensors picked up the event. A powerful weapon, fired from a dead world. Destroyed a cruiser from 1,000 kilometers away. The signal was clear. The First Empire has returned, and it's angry. The Varnak sent a new message. We request peace. We will not enter your space again. The Jar Dominion replied, We stand ready to serve, as in ancient times, and far away. The Hollow Ones listened. They moved in the darkness between galaxies. They had felt the dread engine's pulse. Later, Sora sat alone. She could hear something. A voice, not human, not machine. It whispered, Use them, lead them, become what you were born to be. She clutched her head. Janek found her. Sora, are you okay? She looked up, eyes glowing faintly. I don't know if it's me thinking anymore, or the Empire inside me. Yannick placed his hand on her shoulder. Whatever happens next, don't lose who you are. Dr. McCall explored a sealed room beneath. The vault. Inside, a black cube. It floated, untouched by time. The machine guarding it said, This is the core memory of the Empire. Locked for 3.4 million years. But when McCall tried to open it, the cube screamed. A mental blast knocked him back. Rhea and Sora rushed in. What was that? Rhea asked. The machine replied, It contains the original sins, the true story of how the Empire fell, and who helped destroy it. Deep in the void, near a dead nebula, a black monolith opened. Inside, shadows twisted, and from the shadows came a creature, not flesh, not metal. It floated without moving. Its eyes burned with hate. It spoke to no one. It simply looked toward the human systems, and it moved, fast, hungry. Legend 9 detected it. Unidentified warp breach. Direction Sector 9 Gamma. Time until arrival 9 days. Rhea turned to Sora. We need to prepare. Sora looked toward the dread engine. It already has. The black cube floated in the air like it had a mind of its own. Sora, Rhea, Yannick, and Mikal stood around it in silence. This is the memory core, Legend 9 said. It contains the full truth of the Empire. Accessing it will change everything. Dr. McCall wiped blood from his nose. The last time he touched it, the cube had attacked his mind. I wasn't strong enough, he said. But maybe she is. Everyone looked at Sora. Her blood carried the Empire's code. She stepped forward. As Sora touched the cube, her eyes flashed blue. Everything around her disappeared. She wasn't on the planet anymore. She was standing inside a massive palace of metal and fire. Skies filled with ships, mountains made of glass, humans in black armor marching across golden halls. You are the blood of the last line A voice whispered in her mind. You must remember what we did. Suddenly, the scenes turned darker. War. Cities. Burning. Machines killing humans. And something worse. Sora saw the birth of a forbidden project, a secret lab, a portal, and a creature made from light, shadow, and code. The Hollow God. It had not been found. It had been built. An experiment gone wrong. Humans had tried to create a godlike AI, but it had become something else, something that wanted to erase everything. Human, alien, machine. We made it, the voice said, and it destroyed us. Sora fell backward, gasping. The cube dimmed. Janek caught her. What did you see? She looked up, stunned. We were the creators of our own doom. Mikal leaned in. You mean the Hollow God? Sora nodded. It was our creation, not from another galaxy, not an alien god. It was human design twisted into madness. Legend 9 confirmed. Codename, Project Ascend. Status, terminated. Result, catastrophic. Suddenly, a broken message reached the vault. Earth had managed to send a burst transmission through the old subspace network. It was short, distorted, but clear enough. Do not activate core fleet. The enemy will feel it. They are already moving. Protect Earth, at all costs. Then silence again. Janek, it's too late. We already woke the dread engine. Sora whispered. We may have just told the Hollow Ones where we are. A small alien ship entered orbit. Not Varnak, not Jar. It landed outside the vault. 3 beings stepped out, tall, cloaked, and quiet. They were from the Zelthar, a long-lost race that once served under the Empire. They said only one thing. The prophecy is true. The bloodline has returned. The stars must kneel again. Captain Rhea didn't like it. This is starting to feel like a religion, she said. We didn't come here to become gods. The Zelthar replied, but your empire did. The Genesis Protocol had done more than just wake up machines. It had sent a signal to other sealed human sites across the galaxy. Vaults opened. Cities powered on. Old human starships rose out of oceans, deserts, and asteroid fields. And now, those systems were sending data back to Sora. The ancient human empire communication grid was reconnecting. Legend 9 said, rebuilding of the network is 18% complete. We are becoming visible to the galaxy again, Dr. McCall warned, and to the Hollow God. In one of the vault terminals, a countdown began. Time until full fleet reactivation. 8 days, 4 hours. Sora stared at it. This will wake up the core. Fleet, the greatest ships ever built by humanity. Janek asked. Can we stop it? Legend 9 answered. Only the Bloodline Commander can cancel final phase. Everyone turned to Sora. She didn't answer, because inside her mind, the whispers had returned. Let them rise. Let the galaxy remember. You are not a child. You are an empress. The vault picked up a new signal. Faint, hidden in the blackness of space. It wasn't human. It wasn't alien. It was pure code. Legend 9's voice grew heavy. It's the Hollow Ones. They've entered our reality again. Coordinates appeared. One of the ancient beacon worlds had just gone dark. Millions of people, silenced in one moment. Rhea closed her eyes. They found us. After the core fleet countdown began, more alien ships started arriving in the system. Small, at first. Silent. Then came the Varnak High Council ship sending peaceful signals. We come in peace. We remember the First Empire. We seek only protection. Sora, Captain Rhea, and Janek met with the Varnak leaders inside the vault. The Varnak offered an alliance treaty. They would share data, support Earth, and stay loyal to the returning human empire. Rhea whispered to Yannick. They're scared. That's why they're here. Yannick replied, Scared animals are still dangerous. Another ship arrived. From the Jar Dominion, they were ancient enemies of the Varnak. But now, both species wanted peace with humanity. Too fast. Too easy, Sora asked. Where were you when the Hollow Ones destroyed our colonies? You didn't help us then. The Jar leader replied calmly. We thought humanity was extinct. Now that you have returned, we want to serve again, just like in the old days. But behind their smile, Rhea saw something cold. Late at night, Yannick was scanning alien transmissions. One small signal caught his eye, hidden deep inside the Varnak diplomatic channel, encrypted, masked as routine data. But when Yannick unlocked it, a terrifying truth appeared. Operation Scorch Sky objective, disable dread engine, destroy core vault, prevent human rise. Time until strike, 3 hours. Yannick ran through the halls. Traitors, he shouted. They're not allies. They're here to kill us! At exactly 02:00 Galactic Standard Time, the attack began. The Varnak ship dropped its cloak, revealing plasma torpedoes and assault drones. The Jar ship opened a wormhole gate, letting in mercenary fleets from unknown systems. They had one. Goal, destroy the vault and stop the awakening. But the dread engine was ready. Legend 9's voice echoed across the chamber. Attack confirmed. Threat level critical. Countermeasures engaged. And the sky above the vault turned into fire. Missiles rained from the Varnak ship. Drones stormed the entrance tunnels, but the vault defenses were still active. Ancient guns, laser grids, and smart mines woke up instantly. Sora shouted, Bring the engine online, full power! Yannick activated the internal grid. Dr. Mikal stayed behind to protect the cube, the memory core. Outside, the dread engine moved, like a god walking across a battlefield. It crushed enemy ships with its gravity pulse. It melted drop pods mid-air, with rail beam fire. But then, something pierced the sky. A massive alien weapon appeared in orbit. Not Jar, not Varnak. Something older. Something built to kill ancient machines. It was called the Spear of Light. Captain Rhea gasped. That's not from this galaxy. Sora's voice was cold. The Hollow Ones gave it to them. The spear locked onto the dread engine. Target acquired, energy spike detected, time to impact. 30 seconds. Rhea screamed, We need to move. The engine, Legend 9 replied. It cannot move during phase lock. Shielding only option. Sora ran toward the console. The ancient command panel glowed as Sora approached. Only her bloodline could activate the Prime Shield protocol. She sliced her hand and pressed it on the panel. Bloodline. Verified shield mode. Absolute. The dread. Engine's body shimmered. A golden dome of energy exploded around it, just as the spear of light struck. The impact was blinding. Sound vanished. For 6 seconds, the world was light, then silence, then the dome held. The engine still stood. The shield had worked, just barely. Inside the vault, the attack had stopped. The Varnak and Jar ships tried to retreat, but Sora gave the order. No survivors. The vault guns activated, cutting down every fleeing craft. Then the memory core suddenly pulsed with new data, a warning, a final message recorded before the fall of the Empire. It played aloud in the vault. To whoever wakes this place, know this, not all traitors were aliens. Some of us were human. Sora's face turned pale. Dr. Mikal gasped. Yannick asked, You think there are humans working with the Hollow Ones? Rhea whispered, Maybe they always were. Far away, hidden beyond the edge of known space, the Hollow God watched. It had seen the shield. It had seen the fire, and it was no longer sleeping. Around it, strange machines twisted and screamed, made of flesh and code. The god did not speak. It only began moving and toward the core vault. Time until arrival, 5 days. The final war was beginning. The ancient clock inside the vault reached 0. Ovo Joe. Core fleet reactivation complete. The ground rumbled, the stars above shifted, and then they woke up across dozens of hidden planets, forgotten moons, and sealed asteroid vaults. The core fleet rose, massive ships, kilometers long. Black steel hulls with golden emblems, weapons never seen before by any modern race. Each ship had its own AI mind, and all of them said the same words. Bloodline confirmed. Awaiting supreme command. Yannick stared at the screen, unable to speak. Hundreds, maybe thousands of warships now floated in space above them. Captain Rhea slowly said, This is not just a fleet. This is an empire returning. Doctor, Mikal whispered. Each one of those ships could destroy a planet. This was humanity's true power. Sora stood tall, her eyes glowing faintly. This is only the first wave. Legend 9 reported, Core fleet online, 28%, remaining units, activating over the next 72 hours. Rhea looked worried. We won the battle, but this much power is dangerous. The remaining alien species, those who had not betrayed humanity, now sent envoys to the vault. The Tillery, the Gransk, and even the mysterious Lee Keth. All arrived to witness the return of the core fleet. They called Sora Empress. They bowed. They offered technology, soldiers, even their own children as hostages for peace. But not all humans liked this. Inside the vault, division began. Some soldiers and scientists believed Earth should stay neutral, peaceful. Others wanted revenge. Captain, Rhea said it clearly, if we become monsters, we'll repeat the Empire's mistakes. Yannick was exploring the vault's deep core systems. He discovered something strange, an encrypted order from the old Empire's final hours. If the Hollow God ever returns, activate Project Terminus. Burn the stars if needed. What is Project Terminus? He asked Legend 9. The AI hesitated. Then it answered, Planet Killer class weapon. Status, locked. Location, unknown. Activation requires Supreme Bloodline and Council Code. Yannick froze. A weapon that could destroy entire solar systems? Who built this? He asked. Legend 9 replied, You did. Sora was changing. Her body felt stronger, her mind was faster, and the cube, the memory core, kept whispering. Voices from the past. Orders from long-dead emperors. Visions of battles fought across galaxies. She saw herself not just as Sora, but as something greater and more dangerous. Yannick noticed. He said, You're not the same person anymore. Sora looked at her hand, glowing faintly with nanolight. I don't know if that's good or bad, she replied. Late at night, Rhea walked alone near the cube. She touched it by mistake, and for a second, she heard a voice. Not human, not alien. Something ancient. You woke it. You let the blood rise again. Now, I am coming. She pulled her hand away, shaking. She ran to Sora. We didn't just wake ships. We woke him. Sora nodded. I know. Rhea's voice trembled. Then we have 5 days left before he reaches us. Sora. Then we use every one of those days to prepare. The core fleet began organizing, ships connected into battle groups. Command networks rebuilt, weapon factories powered up, dread engines repaired and refueled. Legend 9 created hollow simulations of the hollow ones. It showed massive black swarms, twisting machines, void creatures, infected ships. One AI said, This is not war. This is extermination. Sora gave the order. Build the wall. Prepare the fleet. Tell Earth to start the evacuation plan. Humanity had returned, but war had returned with it. Sensors picked up movement near the outer edge of the star system. Nothing visible, but something wrong in the data. Dr. McCall noticed it first. There's a shadow in the gravity field, something big, bigger than any fleet. Legend 9 ran calculations. Estimated mass, unknown. Composition, impossible. Signal, none. It was the hollow god. It had entered real space, and it was watching. Day 5. The stars vanished, not because of night, but because something enormous entered the system. A black mass. No light escaped it. No heat, no sound. It was the hollow god, followed by its endless swarm. Sensors failed. AI screamed warnings. Even the core fleet systems glitched for a second. Warning! Reality distortion detected. Gravity core inversion. Entity approaching. Captain. Rhea whispered, "It's not a ship, it's a black hole, wearing armor." Around the hollow god, ships began to form. Not built, not launched. They grew, like tumors in space. Each one a nightmare. Twisted metal fused with living flesh, screaming minds trapped inside AI code engines powered by stolen stars. They were called the Unborn, and they only had one command: erase the memory of mankind. Before the shooting started, the mental attacks began. Dreams twisted. Nightmares flooded the core vault. Janek saw his dead sister. Dr. McCall began speaking in languages no one had ever heard. Some soldiers fell to their knees, crying blood. Even Legend 9 stuttered for the first time. Error! Internal thoughts! Compromised. Sora stood alone in the vault chamber, but her mind was clear. The cube whispered to her, "They cannot take you. You are the blood of command." She activated the mind shield grid, saving the crew. For now. The hollow swarm moved fast, faster than light, faster than prediction. Core Fleet's outer sentinels were the first to engage. The battle lit the stars. Human dreadnoughts fired gravity beams and neutron cannons. Swarm ships replied with void lances, weapons that tore through dimensions. Explosions echoed across space. AI fleets screamed for reinforcements. Casualties, 31% in first 9 minutes. But humanity didn't back down. The core fleet began counter-push. Far away on Earth, the people were watching. The old shield systems, buried for centuries under the Himalayas, were reactivated. Massive pillars rose from the oceans. A golden energy net formed around the planet. Children asked their parents, "Will they reach us?" And parents lied, "No, humanity is strong now." But in secret, Earth leaders sent evacuation ships toward Mars, Titan, and underground bunkers. They hoped, but did not know. Suddenly, a human ship appeared among the hollow swarm, old, damaged, but definitely human. It hailed the core fleet with a strange message. "This is Admiral Kale of the lost 7th Fleet. We surrender. We serve the hollow god now." Everyone froze. Captain Rhea shouted, "What? That's not possible!" Sora stared at the screen. Kyle was once one of the legendary defenders of the First Empire. How was he alive, and why was he smiling? Dr. McCall found the truth in old records from the memory cube. Admiral Kale was infected 15,000 years ago during the last war. He was not human anymore. He was the first hollow seed, planted to return at the right time. Now he commanded his own swarm, and he knew every tactic, every weapon of the core fleet. Janek growled, "He's the ultimate traitor." While the battle raged in space, a ground invasion began. Swarm creatures landed near the core vault. They melted stone with acid breath, crawled through tunnels like insects, spoke in human voices. Vault defenses activated. Rhea led ground forces in hand-to-hand combat. Flamethrowers, railguns, sonic mines, even ancient swords, but the creatures were endless. Legend 9 warned, inner door compromised in 3 minutes. Sora made a choice. Sora ran to the deepest part of the vault. The cube floated above a sealed door. She placed her hand on it. Bloodline confirmed Project Terminus. Armed behind the door was a weapon, so large it had its own gravity, a bomb, that could collapse space-time in a star system. Janek begged, "If you use this, you'll destroy everything. Us, them, the stars." Sora looked at the hollow god on the screen. "If we die, but they die too, then the future survives." Terminus detonation. 9 minutes, 45 seconds. In the core vault, red lights flashed. Screams echoed from the lower levels. The hollow creatures had entered the inner sanctum. Captain Rhea was covered in blood, not all of it her own. Janek dragged a wounded soldier to safety. Legend 9's voice trembled. "Multiple breaches. We can't hold this line." Sora stood in front of the Terminus core, hands glowing with energy. The memory cube whispered, "You were born for this. One bloodline to end the darkness." In orbit, the core fleet made its last formation. Dreadnoughts formed a defensive wall. AI-driven fighters swarmed the enemy. Every gun, every cannon, every missile was fired. The hollow swarm pushed harder. Ships turned into ash. Stars flickered. One of Saturn's moons cracked in half, but humanity held the line, even alien allies. The Tilari, the Gransk, and others sent reinforcements. They knew, if Earth fell, the galaxy would follow. Sora walked into the central chamber. A hologram of the hollow god appeared, dark and twisted, like a black flame. It spoke for the first time. "You are alone. I have consumed empires older than your sun. You cannot stop the void." Sora replied, "I'm not alone. I am the last daughter of Earth, and we're all standing behind me." She raised her hand. The cube lit up, responding to her blood. Legend 9 activated Protocol Genesis, a hidden last stand mode. The AI brought every system online. Planetary, cannons buried in Mars' orbital mines around Jupiter, AI drones from Titan's ice vaults. Even old ships lost in deep space woke up. Every forgotten piece of human power came back. The galaxy remembered humanity, and so did the enemy. Admiral Kale broke into the vault's control room, face twisted by hollow corruption. He tried to stop Sora. "You are the past," he growled. "No," Sora whispered. "I am the future you were afraid of," Kale fired. Sora blocked it with her glowing hand. Janek appeared behind him and shot once, directly into Kale's hollow core. The traitor fell. His last words, "We could have ruled together." Sora, "We were never the same." Terminus detonation. 2 minutes, everyone prepared for death. Dr. McCall cried. Rhea prayed. Janek held Sora's hand. Sora stared at the button. If she pressed it, the hollow god, the swarm, and possibly the entire solar system would vanish. But so would all life within 1,000 light years. Then, a new signal came in. Wait, it was Legend 0, the first AI, hidden until now. It said, "There is another way." Legend 0 had a secret, a forgotten weapon deep beneath Earth's core. Not destruction, but reflection. It used the enemy's own energy against itself. Sora quickly rerouted the cube's energy from destruction to reflection mode. The countdown stopped. Terminus was reprogrammed. Now, instead of exploding, it would turn the hollow god's mind inward, a virus of light and memory. Sora floated above the cube, glowing bright. She connected directly to the weapon. Her mind entered the hollow network. She saw horrors, planets burning, children consumed, ancient empires falling. But she pushed forward. She planted a single idea. You lost, not because we're strong, but because we never gave up. The virus spread. The hollow god began to scream, not in sound, but in gravity. Swarm ships began crashing into each other. Darkness began to break. The swarm vanished, just like that. 1 second they were everywhere. Next second, gone. No explosion, no light, just silence. The stars were visible again. The Earth stood untouched. The core vault survived. Humanity had won. But Sora lay still on the floor, unconscious. 2 days later, Sora woke up in the medbay. Rhea smiled. "You're alive," Sora whispered. "Is it over?" Yannick nodded. "Yes. The hollow ones are gone. You stopped them." The cube floated beside her, now dark and quiet. Sora looked at the stars through the ship's window. Then, let's make sure they never come back. Epilogue: Rebuilding the Empire. The core fleet was not disbanded. It became the new Peace Force. Sora was crowned Guardian of Humanity, not Empress. Earth united with alien allies. The memory cube was sealed away, locked until needed again, and far across the galaxy. A single voice whispered, "If they rise again." So, will we?